We got team 1 with G-Funk, Hatchet, Applin name as not a survival hunter though. Are you a Beastmaster hunter? I would imagine you should be named Survival Hunter Hatchet. Sorlo's going to be first up versus Fazol, Demonology Warlock Worgen versus an Elemental Shaman, landing a full Lightning Lasso. Going to be that later stun for Fazol. Maybe as he's trying to create some line of sight and get some damage. Going to be the second stun with a Fell Lord down as a Infernal Full Charm trying to come out. Soul Run. Actually, Sorlo's trying to get a cast with a bit of zaps. Is able to get the zap out, but able to follow up. Double Stormkeeper coming out. Lightning Bolts. Mortal reaches him as a hand of Gul'dan comes out. For some reason, the Tyrant trying to get a melee of Sorlos, even though Sorlos is taking a bit of damage. The Tyrant's still walking at him. Tyrant, please! Tyrant, please stop moving and cast from rage. I hate that pet so much. Have you ever just looked at a pet and you're like, why is this thing the dumbest thing in the world? The Tyrant, I swear, is the dumbest pet of any pet that any class has, and I feel so bad for any Demonology Warlocks that PvP with that thing. Shackles of Malediction onto Sorlos as Fazol, trying to make up the difference that his Tyrant couldn't. Lightning Lasso onto the Warlock for a second, and Sorlos trying to get a Lava Burst off. Fazol got himself a shield, as well as should probably send in the pets. Oh wait, is the pets a passive? I hope to God not. I hope to God not. Because if they are, then maybe that's why the Tyrant bugged out. Sorlo's got his own pet up and running, a much smarter pet, the Earth Elemental, giving you quite a bit of a shield increase with a defensive as well as a regular stun to use from time to time, which does provide you a lot of support. And this is Fazol dropping down Demon Doggas onto Sorlos as he's trying to land those zaps into Fazol. Stun around the corner. Fazol trying to land a fear, is able to trick it out of Sorlos with a lasso. Fazol might be in a big trouble right now. Does he survive any of this? Looks like Sorlos never got to use a Stormkeeper. Maybe a Lava Burst is all he needs just to take down Fazol. Getting the double Lava Burst proc, taking him out with Shaladrisa. Gonna be up next for Team 2 as a sub-rogue, almost letting Sorlos get a full flesh grab, denying him the full shield, however. As the rogue is gonna have to play this very slowly, getting the dots up and running, getting the resources up and running, landing a kiddo shot of Sorlos. Kyrian Burst comes out, Shadow Step is there for the Thunderstorm in order to get away. Earthshock to follow up, and Sorlos taking a bit of damage. Wall is up as the Shackles of Addiction try to come out, but that's gonna be Lightning Lasso to break it. It is gonna be DR'd, however. And Sorlos needs recovery, needs to juke a kick. Just to get a juke a kick out of it. Does Shaladrisa have any more CC? Hailing surges and keep out of a life. Shaladrisa does not follow up with CC, instead dips into stealth with a Shadow Meld. Sorlos got himself a Stormkeeper, hoping there's a Flame Shock on the rogue, but there's none. Oh my goodness, Shaladrisa missing that kick, allowing Sorlos get a full heal off, had him completely DR'd on stuns, did not follow up with a blind, maybe could have used that. Getting a shout out to Sorlos. Does he have a knockback? Shaladrisa positions to not get knocked completely off the platform. Sorlos trying to get that angle if you can. Might just have to go for a knockback either way. Super low on health either way. Does get the knockback on the rogue. Does he get an interrupt? No interrupt for the rogue. He denies the interrupt for later. Just trying to put the pressure while he's got it. And is going to be able to wipe out the Elemental Shaman. With the Paladin over on Team 1, it's going to be Retronome. I kind of like it. It's like retro and a metronome. I'm trying to make a joke of metronomes here and retro. Maybe he's gonna have those judgments banging on Shaladrisa's head and like a oh my god, speaking about judgments, there they go. I was gonna say maybe they're gonna be in the like a pattern of some sort, like a tempo. Shaladrisa getting the juke onto the Paladin, trying to maybe go for a second juke instead, just to get himself a reset. Gonna be a shield of vengeance used for Retronome, also trinketed really early versus Shaladrisa. The rogue got quite a bit of a bite to them. As Shaladrisa opens up with a cheap shot, does Retronome go for a bubble? Has to, as sees damage coming out of the rogue. Shinto a full Hodge, has the Seraphim wings and everything available. Final verdict. Does he have enough damage to take Shaladrisa down? The rogue dives into stealth, and Retronome at least is able to catch up on health. I really like your armor, by the way. That full Death Knight set with the shoulders. Yo, that looks sick. With a blue sword as well. Yo, that looks awesome. Man, dude, that's a good looking mug. That looks fantastic. It looks like your helm, like with a sword, looks like your helm is on fire, like blue flame. Blessing of Protection by the Paladin. Shaladrisa looking for the reset. Does not have any ways to puncture through Blessing of Protection. Just has to take the beating from the Paladin with an evasion. Got himself a sippy cup. Enough just to wait out. The Blessing of Protection might be able to get himself a setup. As soon as the DR stuns are done, Shaladrisa is going to need a set of dances in order to be able to get some damage out. Is going to dive into a reset with a Shadow Meld though to get a proper open onto Retro. Another reset. Shaladrisa still waiting for that Shadow Step. actually not Shadow Step, but Shadow Dance is going to get it from a kidney shot. Big Kyrian burst, and Retro is going to be going down. Not much you can do. Once you burn your trinket, once you burn your immunities, the rogue has you in their sights. Hatchet is going to be up next as a Beast Mastery Hunter versus Shaladrisa. Looking to pick up the eyes, but he knows that Shaladrisa could attack him any moment, dropping down a freezing trap just in case. Does Shaladrisa see the freezing trap? I think he might. I think Shaladrisa might see it. Hatch is just hanging out right next to the freezing trap just in case. Flare is going to pick up the eye. Shaladrisa charging at him. Lawrence helps get a landing on a kidney shot. Does land the kidney. Big damage coming down for the rogue. Cheap shot after. Doesn't get the burst needs versus Hatchet. Quick feint death for Hatchet. Is still super low in health. Is going to try to get as much damage reversed back to the rogue. Trick inside of the pet stun into a big Kyrian burst. Hatchet goes for acceleration. Is that going to be enough? They got himself a bit of a pet heal as well. And actually turning the damage around onto Shaladrisa. Turtle shell before the rogue caps him out. Dropping down a flare in case the rogue goes for a reset. Smoke bomb is up. Shaladrisa has advantage if they need to. Just needs to make sure they're away from the flare. The mark for death is still on him. The pets are still chasing after. Shaladrisa trying to see if they can get away from the pet. Hatchet knows exactly where Shaladrisa's at, letting the pets get the rogue out of stealth. And as long as the pets are on him, it's going to be just good sustained damage. We're only at 8% damage, so Shaladrisa with the rogue C pickup still able to get himself a bit of recovery, a bit of survivability. Hatchet dropping down traps as he's cutting the rogue around the corner. Going to be a charge trap just slow him down. I think Hatchet might just be waiting out until the pet's stun. Going to land the pet stun, most likely get a bunch of damage to Shaladrisa, dip behind the pillar, let the barb shot as well as the pets and the auto attack damage do it. Going to be tricking out a Hatchet as soon as he sees a kidney shot on him, goes for feint death, drops the freezing trap for Shaladrisa. If the rogue still has a shadow meld or shadow step, might be able to make some work here. Stun as Hatchet tries to see if he can take him down. Shaladrisa does get himself a reset with a shadow meld, gets himself a sippy cup, able to get a little bit of healing. Hatchet dives into that camera, and it's a reset for the both of them. I feel like Hatchet should probably have used stun into a mark for death or hunter's mark onto Shaladrisa. So then in case the rogue has a shadow meld, they would have still been able to see him. So now the rogue gets a reset. This is a perfect opportunity for the rogue. No trinket for him, but also no trinket for the hunter. The rogue at least has an opportunity to take the hunter down. He doesn't need to catch after him. But as long as he doesn't get caught out in a trap or doesn't get caught out in a bad flare or anything, he still could be in a bit of trubs. But he's going to just wait away from any of the eyes. He sees that the traps are next to the eye. He wants to approach it, but he's being very, very careful. As Hatchet looks like is going to kind of hang out by the eye. The rogue sees that the traps are there. Hatchet just hanging out by the traps in case the rogue goes exploring anywhere near it. Hatchet going to pick up the eye. The rogue with the mark for death ready to go. Freeze the trap in front of him. Is going to eat it with a kidney shot to break him out immediately. Hatchet getting hit with a stun right after. Feign death for a moment. Going to be a stunner to Shaladrisa. No trinket to break out of the stun. And Hatchet gets himself the much needed range that he needs from the pets, from all that damage. Trying to see if he might be able to pelt at Shaladrisa. The shadow step closes that gap though. Another freezing trap waiting for him. Shaladrisa still has plenty of health. Hatchet with a quick feign death gets himself a bit of a shield, but it's not going to last long at all. Got himself whatever healing he can, but Shaladrisa taking him out, sniping him out of the game. G-Funk charging in as a survival hunter, harpooning right through as soon as Shaladrisa escapes out of that smoke bomb. Is going to send a death chakram at the rogue. It looks like the rogue is going to dive into a vanish, and the death chakram isn't able to do damage for long enough to break Shaladrisa out of stealth. I don't even know if death chakram continues doing damage while you're in vanish. I didn't even get to know. G-Funk is going to put his pet as far as he can for a moment before sending it back. It looks like you just got to position the pet as far away as you can. Just got to putting it in different positions, sitting on a freezing trap with the flare. Shaladrisa has mark for death, everything ready here. Also, one set of dances. Mark for death, kidney shot or G-Funk, avoiding the freezing trap completely. The pet goes in for a sack in order to reduce some of those crits from Shaladrisa onto G-Funk. Into a disarm onto G-Funk right after stun by the hunter. Does not need his spear in order to get the damage. The chakrams, the grenades, the death chakram, everything. He's got it all in his back pocket. Just needs to throw it as hard as he can. The death chakram still chasing after the rogue. Doesn't get him out of stealth. Okay, so it has been confirmed. It does get him out of stealth. G-Funk unable to see that the rogue was actually caught out for a moment. Was going for a manic bandage. The rogue forced to a charge at G-Funk. Does not open up with a stun, but rather shadow strike. Kidney shot to follow. G-Funk with the trick and feign death for a moment. Needs to make sure that the pet is nearby. Blind. The pet is on the rogue. And Shaladrisa, I don't know if they have a kidney shot or anything, but if they can land a kidney shot onto the pet, they could definitely get a reset. The charge trap is going to make it harder for them to catch a proper reset though. Gonna slow it down as G-Funk trying to see if he might be able to get himself full defensive with that Flesh Cup. Charging at Shadowlands. Needs to burn through Flesh Cup. Does so fairly quickly. G-Funk goes for a pet sack as the shield falls. Shadowlands continue to get non-crits and just goes straight into G-Funk's health. It's a little pet splitting the damage with him. And G-Funk still under quite a bit of pressure. Shadowlands with an evasion. Trick is out of the freezing trap. Trying to go for a bit of a heal. Shadowlands is still putting in the pressure. Shadow Strike still flying. And Viscer just needs one more. It looks like it is going to be TME Forest. Gonna be here to try to take down the rogue. Got the full bleeds into Shadowlands. Has the Kyrian sippy cup. Have they used it though? I believe they did. I believe they did just to clean all the bleeds off. Being a Kyrian rogue, the sippy cup is fantastic. One for the healing, but two for the removal of diseases, curses, as well as bleeds. Everything but magical effects. And I guess a feral druid that's a necrolord that's literally all bleed damage. This is perfect. TM4 is getting opened up with a kidney shot. Shadowlands is going for that Kyrian resident and burst, just trying to see if he can bust through a Flesh Cup while in bear form. Barsket after the Flesh Cup falls. Shadowlands does not have any more defenses to work with. That is going to be Feral Frenzy up onto the rogue. Maim really quickly to stun him. Now Shadowlands have a Sippy Cup right after. I don't think they might have used it already. I'm afraid they might have used it before. Blind onto Forest is going to trick it out of it. He gets himself up in a position where they might be able to make some work. Try to see if he can Shadow Step the Feral. He needs to survive just a little bit longer until full burst. Has Shadow Blades available and everything. Just needs to connect with TM Forest. He's going to sit in the bear form as Shadow just trying to see if they might be able to make some burst happen. Decides against it. Decides to go for a reset instead. Decides, you know what? I have only so many bleeds on me and I might be able to get out of there. Sap onto the Feral Druid, controlling the kitty as best as they can. Might be able to just complete the reset and maybe go again. That was Shadow Blades used, so those are pretty big cooldown committed, but decided to play defensive, maybe because evasion was coming up very soon, as well as a vanish. As long as he's able to wait out those dots, he might be okay. Quick roar by Forest as he's just sitting in bear form, trying to stay tanky as best as he can, trying to get some mobility in. Just landing the kidney shot as he's out of form. No trick available for Forest. Seeing the Barskin is at least going to be able to burn through some of the damage. He's going to go for full stun to the Forest. And it's going to pop an evasion, staying as aggressive as it can. Shackles onto Forest, might be in bad trouble. Trying to go for as much self-heal as he can. Shadowlands is going for a Shadow Step just to get it close to Forest, but has to break his own shackled chain. And Forest trying to stay bear form as best he can. Does he have any more survivability at all? Shadowlands only has a trinket available. Shadow Step past the Feral. Going to be quick, maybe. Trinkets out of it immediately. Maybe a Sippy Cup. Team Forest making sure to put some Moonfires onto Shadowlands. And the rogue better get in combat with the Feral as soon as possible. Catching a reset. TM4 is back in the bear, sapping him. And Shadowlands again needs to just go for a quick, I don't even know, needs to get himself somehow in a position where the Feral is out of bear form. And then let a full kidney shot. Kidney shot, trinket for TM4. Shadowlands could blind him and reset maybe potentially. Maim onto Shadowlands. TM4 is perfect opportunity to get some damage in. Shadowlands might have used the Sippy Cup a little too early. That's a lot of bleeds on him. Does go for the Sippy Cup. There it is. So that was something else that's given him buff. I think it's a mastery buff rather. Blind into Forest doesn't go for a sap. Goes for a little bit late of a sap. But Team Forest did at least use Battle Master Trinket there either way. And Shadowlands have busted this Feral at all though. Battle Master Trinket falls off by the looks of it. Kidney shot onto the Druid. Barskin is up. Does he have Frenzy Regen? If Frenzy Regen is up, that would be perfect for him. Shadowlands is trying to burn through his health bar with all that Kyrian burst. Quick roar, war stop to follow. TM Forest is not going for a cyclone or anything. Just trying to see if he can leap away. Shadowlands is staying on him, taking him out. Just continuing to sink the Shadow Strikes into that thick bear hide. And that team we're going to have to go again with for sure. Definitely going to have to go again, boys.